Welcome, you guys, to Women Who Love Themselves, the place where we stop making excuses and we make things happen. If you're tired of feeling stuck, contentment, and just waiting for things to magically happen and ready to finally become the woman of your dreams, this is where we're going to start. If you're new here, I'm Alyssa. Welcome. And on this channel, I keep it 100 with you guys. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And everybody doesn't like that. But if you are a woman who likes to be honest and radical and speak candidly, this is the space for you. Because here is the truth, okay? Women who truly love themselves, they don't just wait for things to happen to them. They make it happen. They build discipline. And today, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. By the end of this video, you will have a 3-step framework that you can work off of to finally build discipline, even if you've never been disciplined a day in your life. But first, I have to be real with you guys about something. You have been lied to when it comes to discipline. A lot of you, if you're being honest, are just waiting for motivation to appear. You're thinking things like one day you'll just magically wake up and you'll feel motivated to do the things that you want to do. And some days it does feel that way. You get bursts of energy, you get some excitement, but you lose momentum very quickly. But let me ask you something and keep it 100 with me. How many times after that burst of energy goes away have you said that, oh, I'll start Monday, oh, I'll do it after this, and it never happens? And the most painful part, honestly, is thinking about how much time have you already wasted? And that is why we need to shift our entire mindset when it comes to discipline. See, the thing is that discipline is not about restriction. I know that so many people, when they think of discipline, they think about all the things that they have to give up, right? They think that their life is no longer going to be the same. They're not going to have the flexibility, and that usually deters people. But what people don't realize is that discipline is literally freedom, because the most confident, sexy, secure, established woman that you see is usually disciplined. The thing is, oftentimes they don't feel like doing the thing either, but they show up anyways. And that's what discipline is. And that is the people that you are looking up to. We all have been there. You see a woman that is on social media, or you see her in real life and you're in the world, and you're like, oh my gosh, she has the style that I want. She has the body that I want. She has this mindset about her, but you don't understand, like, she didn't just wake up that way. She built that over time. So I'm going to break this down for you guys step by step, because discipline is not just about willpower. It's about identity, habits, and having an actual system in place. And I know exactly where most women struggle because I used to be there. So we're going to start there. Let's talk about the 3 biggest reasons why women struggle with discipline. And I don't want you guys to feel bad if this is you, okay? We all have to start somewhere, but it's so important to recognize where your starting place is so you can understand where you need to go. Number 1, and this is very common for, I think, most people, is you negotiate with yourself far too much. This kind of individual will say things like, maybe I'll work out later, or maybe one snack won't hurt, but later never comes and it's always more than one snack. You're just constantly negotiating with yourself. It's kind of like playing with fire, honestly. I think that maybe that is part of the appeal why people do this. It's like having this little temptation. You're like, oh, I'll just do this little bit. I'll just do a little bit of this. Usually it's never just a little bit. Either you overindulge, or when you put things on the back burner, you're like, oh, maybe I'll do that later. Your words have power. So you're saying maybe, that's why it doesn't happen, because it wasn't a for sure thing, versus saying, I'm going to do this later, or I will get this done. I know that that sounds very mental, but I'm telling you guys, that changes everything. You take out the negotiation. Women who truly love themselves, they take out the negotiation. They don't say things like, maybe I'll do this. They just show up and do it. And I want you to think about this in everyday average life, right? Think about business owners. They don't say, oh, maybe I will launch this new product, right? They launch the product. They move with purpose. They move with action. And that's how you have to be in your life too. Stop negotiating. Number 2 is that you think you need motivation. And I hear this all the time. People will DM me on my social media, maybe some of my subscribers that are watching this right now, and they will be like, how did you get the motivation to lose 70 pounds? How do you show up so much? I don't feel motivated. I actually did a poll on my social and I asked women to just comment on reasons why they think that they start the gym and then they just stop, even if they're seeing progress. And there were so many women that said that they don't have motivation, that they lose motivation, that they have it for a little bit of time and then it's fleeting essentially. But guess what? Motivation follows action. It's not the other way around. And this is a huge common misconception. People think that they need to be motivated to do something. The motivation comes from acting on it. Think about this. Have you ever just been like, you know what, I'm going to the gym today, and you actually go and you do not feel like being there. But once you are there, momentum starts and you literally will get into the zone. You'll do your workout. You know why? That's because action triggers momentum. And the last one, it's kind of hard to hear, but it's honest, is that you don't trust yourself, and you've shown yourself that you can't trust yourself. Every single time you say that you're going to do something and you don't actually do the thing that you said, you are teaching yourself, you are showing the universe that your words do not matter. There's no weight behind what you are saying. And that destroys your confidence. So let's rebuild that confidence starting right now. So now we're going to get into the 3-step formula that you can actually use in your everyday life to build discipline. And before we get into the formula, I just want to check in with you guys real quick. I hope that you're good. I know that changing your life sometimes can feel very daunting and it can be very scary, right? But if you're here with me right now and you are watching this video and you really want to do better, I really want you in this moment to acknowledge that, take a moment, clap it up for yourself, because there are so many people, you guys, who like to complain about where they are in their life, but they never do anything about it. And I think that if you are here right now and you actually are serious about building discipline, changing your life, going after the woman that you know that you are meant to be, that is huge, okay? It all starts with the desire, but then you have to act. So let's get into it. I think it's so important to celebrate your wins, acknowledge how you're feeling and where you are. And I'm proud of you for wanting to change, to want to have the desire. Now, let's talk solutions. Step 1, you guys, and if you need to take notes, please do so. Pause the video in between because you really need to focus on what I'm saying and really just lock in because this is going to help you. Step 1 is you have to redefine who you currently are. Most women try to change their actions first, right? They're like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep earlier. I'm going to do this, right? But that's not right. You need to change your entire identity. Instead of saying things like, I'm trying to be healthy, say, I am a healthy woman. I nourish my body. I take care of it. Instead of saying, I'm trying to be more disciplined, say, I am a disciplined woman. I do what I say I'm going to do. If you want to be more adventurous and you're having a conversation with someone, right? And they're like, oh, what are you up to? I wish I was more adventurous. I wish I did this. No. Be like, you know what? I am more adventurous. I'm signing up for this tomorrow. Like, speak that into existence. Your brain will fight against an identity that doesn't match how you see yourself. So the more you say it, the more you actually believe it. And I do this all the time. When I was over 235 pounds, pre-diabetic, starting to really get to a place where I was not happy with my body at all, not happy with where I was in life, I started saying I am statements. Even when I wasn't. When I was overweight, I'd be like, I am fit, right? I wasn't in that moment, but I was showing up, right? I was acting on it. And that, it literally does something with your brain chemistry, because what you think in your mind and then you verbalize out loud, you are speaking it to the world. And if you think that this is foo-foo, I'm telling you, it's not. Words have power, and what you say matters. How you speak over yourself matters. When you're very passive, I wish I could do this. If only I could be like her. You aren't going to ever get there because you're wishing. But when you start saying, I am, I will, I am doing, it changes the freaking energy. Everything in life is just energy. It's just a transfer of energy. Step 2 is start with a non-negotiable habit. Non-negotiable. Discipline is literally like a muscle. You don't just start by lifting 100 pounds. You have to progressive overload and work your way to that weight. Pick one thing, doesn't matter what it is, that applies to your direct goals. That is a non-negotiable. A 5-minute walk every single day. Drinking a glass of water before your coffee. Making your bed every morning. It doesn't matter what it is, but you have to do it. It's a non-negotiable. I think a great example is a lot of women will have non-negotiables in relationships, right? We see it all the time. It's like my non-negotiable, for not me personally, but women will say things like non-negotiable is that a man has to be over 6 feet, right? We see this all the time. They stick by that. It doesn't matter if they meet the nicest guy on the planet. If he's 5 feet, it's their non-negotiable, right? You have to have that same audacity with your personal non-negotiables. Figure out what it is, but stick to it, and you don't miss it. I don't care if there is a bad day. I don't care if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You have a non-negotiable, and you adapt. It doesn't mean that things can't happen in your life. Things are popping up all the time, but overall you have this non-negotiable and you stick to it. Why? Because keeping small promises to yourself, it builds confidence. I am a very confident woman. I've always been pretty confident, but my confidence has soared now that I am in just my dream body. I'm very active. I'm very fit. And it's not just the aesthetics. It is because when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. When I completed 75 hard, nobody could tell me anything. My confidence was through the freaking roof because I said I was going to complete 75 hard, and I did. And that gave me the courage and the confidence and the resilience to push towards new things. But it starts there. Step 3, the last and final step, is remove the option to quit. Discipline isn't just about being strong enough. It's about resisting the temptation, and it's going to come. Think about the things that you want to accomplish in your life, right? If you want to wake up earlier, if you're like, I used to be like, I am not a morning person. See the language I used to use? I am not a morning person. And guess what? I wasn't a morning person for a long time. When I started saying I am a morning person, waking up at 4 a.m. for workouts and have the internet outraged because they're like, who wakes up at 4 a.m.? I do, because that's my preference. But the point is, you have to figure out what you want. So if you want to be a morning person, you want to wake up early, in addition to your language, put the phone across the room. If you want to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, take out the temptation. A huge part of being disciplined is just removing the temptation from your life. Don't give yourself an option to quit. It's so much harder to break a diet, to break a routine, when you're like self-sabotaging yourself. You're like, oh, I want to be healthier, but you have junk food in the house. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. Discipline isn't just about saying no. People who are disciplined aren't just these magical superheroes, right? They put themselves in the best situation to win. They remove temptation. It's setting up your environment so you don't have to say no. Like, for example, if you struggle with late night snacking, like a lot of us do, put a little sticky note on the fridge. Make it bright so it stands out, right? And have it on, write something like women who love themselves nourish their bodies. And that will remind you every single time that you are about to do something that is against who you say you want to be. You don't have to act on that. And you have to create those systems in your life and set yourself up for success. Now, I have a challenge for you. For the next 7 days, okay, 7 days from whenever you see this video, I want you to choose one thing that you're going to do every single day, regardless, sun, rain, shine, doesn't matter. You're committing to doing it every single day for 7 days. Drop your habit in the comment below. I would love to support you and encourage you. And in 7 days time, come back to the video, okay? Accountability, and tell me if you stuck to it. It can be anything. Early on in my fitness journey, I know that I did like a mile every day for a week. And that changed the game for me. I never ran ever. I hated running, but I committed and I accomplished it. And it gave me so much confidence because women who love themselves, they don't negotiate their growth, okay? They commit to it. If this hit home for you guys, make sure you share and subscribe. I'm so thankful that you took time out of your day to spend it with me here, okay? I'm so grateful for my community. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, Fitless Lifestyle. You will see on my personal socials that I am a woman of my word. I think a lot of people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk, right? I'm a woman who shows up for myself all the time because I know I'm chasing that dream woman of mine, okay? I don't reach her every single day, but I am striving for her all the time, okay? And that's the kind of mentality that you have to have as well. And if you ever feel stuck and you're thinking about quitting, if you do the 7-day challenge and on day 5, you're like, girl, I don't know. Come back to this video and rewatch it, okay? Because you can do anything that you set your mind up to do, okay? Commit. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Women Who Love Themselves. Stay disciplined, all right?